Welcome to the deep dive. We're jumping straight into, well, a really fascinating topic today. We're exploring a place in Japan that's famous for one specific, really special food.
That's right.
Based on this pile of research you've brought us, we're looking at the squid from Karatsu and Yobuko in Saga Prefecture.
Yeah, absolutely. And our mission really is to unpack all this material. We want to figure out, why is this squid so famous? Why is it supposed to be so incredibly delicious?
Mm-hmm.
And how does it fit into the local culture? Plus, what can you actually do there related to it based on what these sources say?
Okay. And it sounds like there might be some surprising details in here, like maybe something specific about how the fishermen handle the squid, or perhaps seeing squid designs in unexpected places.
Definitely. We should look out for those unique bits.
Let's dig in.
Okay, so first off, the sources point squarely at Yobuko Town, which is part of Karatsu City. It's known across Japan, apparently, as the town of squid.
The town of squid. Okay.
And its national reputation seems to boil down to one key thing. Squid ikizukuri. That's the live preparation. It's famous specifically for this amazing clarity and freshness. That's what draws the crowds.
Ikizukuri, right. That definitely screams freshness. And Yobuko itself, it has quite a history, doesn't it? These notes say it's been a port for, what, over 300 years?
Yeah, long time.
Perfectly placed to get all that amazing seafood from the Genkai Sea. And it's one of Japan's top 3 morning notes, too.
It is. That tells you a lot about the connection to seafood right there. And it's clear, squid isn't just food here. It's a symbol. It's really deep in the local identity.
How so?
Well, you see squid designs everywhere, not just like on menus, on sightseeing boats, souvenirs. They even have a squid Christmas tree.
A squid Christmas tree, seriously.
Yep.
That's kind of amazing. It shows how much it means locally. But hang on, one point that stood out to me. The fame isn't really about catching the most squid, is it?
No, exactly. That's a really crucial point in this material. Saga Prefecture, as a whole, it ranks something like 24th nationally for squid catch volume. So not huge amounts.
Yeah.
The fame is all about the quality, specifically these high-value types like yari squid and kensaki squid. And it's that quality combined with the local techniques and the environment.
Quality over quantity. Okay, that makes sense. So that begs the question, why is this squid so incredibly delicious? The sources seem to lay out 3 main reasons.
They do, and it paints a really interesting picture. Reason 1 is the environment. Think about the fish tanks in the restaurants. They're not just using any water, they draw seawater directly from the Genkai Sea.
Oh, straight from the sea.
Yeah, and this water is nutrient-rich. Plus, Yobuko Bay has this island, Kabe Island, that acts like a natural breakwater. It creates these tidal currents that keep the water super clean and constantly moving.
Ah, okay.
So drawing that clean, plankton-rich water directly into the tanks, it helps keep the squid tasting naturally sweet and flavorful right up until it's prepared.
So they're kept in, like, their ideal home environment, not just some tank with filtered water. That must make a difference. Okay, what's reason 2?
Reason 2 is all about the chef's skill. This is vital for ikizukuri. Speed is absolutely key.
Why speed?
Well, the sources explain that chefs need to cut the squid incredibly fast. If the squid gets stressed and spits ink, they have to rinse it, and that makes the flesh cloudy. That amazing transparency you see, that's a sign of a super quick, no-rinse preparation.
Ah, so the clearness is like a badge of honor for the chef's skill. Is there more to the technique than just speed?
Yes, and this part is fascinating, that unique sweetness everyone talks about. It's apparently concentrated in a layer right between the pigmented skin and the flesh itself.
Purely, not just in the flesh.
Right. And the skilled chefs, the sources emphasize this, they don't wipe off the natural moisture when they prepare it. They leave that sweet layer totally intact.
Okay.
Combine that with the absolute peak freshness, and that's how you get that signature experience.
Got it.
First, a kind of crispness, a slight crunch, and then this sweetness that just spreads.
Crispy, then sweet. Wow, that sounds amazing. Okay, environment, check. Chef skill, check. What's the third piece?
The third is freshness management. And this starts way before the kitchen. It starts right on the boat with the fishermen. This is that detail you mentioned earlier.
The handling.
Exactly. They have this very specific technique. They avoid touching the squid with their bare hands.
Wait, what? No bare hands. Seems counterintuitive.
Well, the sources say our body heat, just the warmth from our hands, can actually stress the squid out, even kill it quickly.
No way.
Yeah. So by not touching it directly, they keep it in better condition for longer. And they also focus on minimizing the time, between landing it and getting it into the restaurant tanks or ready for cooking. It's this whole chain of careful handling.
That's incredible dedication from sea to plate. So it's really not just one thing.
Not at all. It's the combination, isn't it? The perfect environment, the skilled people, both fishermen and chefs, and this relentless focus on freshness tech, well, techniques and management.
It really sounds like what one source called it, a trinity of the sea, people, and technology.
That sums it up perfectly, I think. A convergence of factors.
Okay, so we get why it's famous, why it's delicious. Now, let's think about the main attractions for someone going there. What are the big takeaways from these sources?
Well, number one has to be that amazing clarity and sweetness, the whole ikizukuri experience itself. We talked about the visual, that shiny, almost see-through flesh of the fresh yari squid,
Right, the transparency.
and then the taste, that crunch followed by the sweetness. The sources often describe it as a real shock for first-timers, in a good way. It's all down to that super-fast chef processing we mentioned.
And didn't you say there's a way to eat the rest of the squid, too?
Yes, absolutely. It's called arazukuri. After you've had the main body sashimi style, they take the remaining parts, the tentacles and belly, often called jiso, and cook them.
How do they cook them?
Usually tempura, so deep fried, or maybe grilled simply with salt. It means you get to enjoy the whole squid, just prepared differently.
Smart. No waste. And different textures. Okay, what's the second main appeal?
The second is the guaranteed top quality, which stems from the unique geography and all that local know-how. The Genkai Sea itself is described as a world-class fishing ground.
Why is it so good?
It's enriched by the Tsushima Current, apparently brings in lots of nutrients, so you have this amazing natural resource. Then add the local methods, those special circulating seawater tanks in the restaurants, the fishermen's careful handling.
Right, the no bare hands thing?
Exactly, and just minimizing the time it's out of water. It all adds up to this level of quality that's famous nationwide, even though, like we said, they don't catch the highest volume.
It's like nature provides the potential, and the locals have perfected bringing it out.
Precisely. Generations of experience understanding this specific ingredient.
Makes sense. And the third attraction?
The third is the diversity you can find and how that connects to the whole food culture there. It's not just one kind of squid all year. The sources highlight the different seasons.
Oh, okay. Tell us about the different types.
Well, from spring through fall, say roughly May to October, the big star is yari ika. That's the one they call the charismatic figure.
Yeah.
Super sweet, crunchy, with that classic clear
Like
flesh.
my iconic one.
Pretty much. Then when winter comes, maybe December through March, you get Aori squid. Locally, they call it Mizuika, and sometimes it's known as the king of squid.
King of squid. How's that different?
It's got thicker flesh, softer, but still really sweet. A different texture experience. And then there's also Ku squid, which has a shorter season, mainly early spring, like March or April.
So depending on when you visit, you could have a totally different squid experience.
Exactly. And beyond just eating, that cultural aspect is huge.
Like the Christmas tree.
Yeah. And the motifs everywhere, the boats,
Yeah.
the souvenirs, and
Yeah.
of course the Yobuko morning market itself, just bustling with local seafood and produce. It all circles back to how important squid is there.
It really paints a picture of a place defined by this one thing. Okay, so if someone's listening and thinking, I want to try this, the sources recommended 3 specific restaurants.
They did, yeah. And they each sound a bit different. First up is Genkai Fish Restaurant. It's apparently been there since 1969. One of the originals in Yobuko for live squid.
What's the vibe there?
Sounds pretty cool, actually. It says they have over 10 big fish tanks, almost like walking into an aquarium, filled with that direct Genkai seawater. You can see the squid swimming around.
Wow.
Their main dish is the ikizukuri set menu. You get the seasonal squid ikizukuri plus the jiso cooked tempura, grilled or maybe simmered, and rice and soup. Sounds like a classic solid choice.
A direct, no-fuss, authentic experience. Okay, number 2.
That's Live Fish Cuisine Fishery Fire, or Izuribi. This one seems popular partly for its location. It has views of the Yobuko OISHII Bridge.
Nice. And are they also all about the freshness?
Oh yeah. The notes specifically mention their careful handling, getting the squid into the tanks without touching them by hand. The place itself is described as maybe a bit more luxurious. Great sea views again. And they have tatami rooms, good for families.
And their specialty dish.
It's the ikizukuri squid course. So you get the super fresh, clear squid, but it also comes with other local tastes, like a special squid rice, fish paste tempura, chuanmushi, steamed egg custard, and other small side dishes. It showcases more of Yobuko's overall seafood bounty.
A broader taste of the region. Okay, and the third one.
The third is Suriki Ryokan. Now this is actually a traditional inn, a ryokan, that overlooks Yobuko port. It's known for its accommodation, but apparently its dining is a huge draw.
So you could stay there and eat there.
Exactly. And their freshness claim is maybe the most impressive. Squid landed right at the port, goes straight into their restaurant tank. Almost zero delay.
Port to tank. That's amazing.
They also mention using a unique cooking method involving seawater to enhance the natural sweetness and texture. Their offering is the Yobuko squid dinner.
What does that include?
It features the squid, prepared in several ways. They mention homemade shumai, which is like a squid shumai dumpling, plus tempura and salt-baked. And it comes alongside other fresh seafood and local things like karatsu soy sauce and saga rice. Plus, potentially a sunset view over the port while you eat.
Okay, that sounds pretty special. Port to plate in minutes with a view. Incredible. Now, before we wrap up Yobuko, there was that fun little side note in the materials that caught my eye.
Ah, yes, the biology bit. Why squids have 10 legs and octopuses only have 8.
Right. It's not exactly dinner conversation usually, but it's interesting. What's the story there?
Well, biologically speaking, squids are in the decapipodiform suborder, deca meaning 10. So they essentially evolved to have 10 appendages.
Okay, 10 arms. What are they for?
8 are shorter arms, used more for like holding onto prey and tangling it. And then they have 2 much longer tentacles that they can shoot out really quickly to actually grab the prey. It's a pretty efficient setup for hunting.
8 holders, 2 grabbers. Makes sense. But didn't the source say something surprising about those tentacles?
It did, yeah. It pointed out that not all squid species actually keep all 10 throughout their lives. Some types, like certain lamprey squid, apparently lose those long tentacles when they become adults, or maybe after spawning.
Huh. So they're useful, but maybe not absolutely essential all the time.
It seems that way. Whereas octopuses, the notes say, just lost those tentacles somewhere along their evolutionary past, so they only have the 8 arms left.
And the theory is their common ancestor had 10.
That's the idea, yeah. The ancestor of both probably had the full set of 10.
Huh. Fascinating little evolutionary detail. Okay, so last thing. The sources also suggested a few other spots to see nearby if you're making a trip.
Right, beyond just the food, which is obviously key.
Yeah.
First is Nanatsugama. That means 7 kilns. They're these big sea caves, carved out by the waves of the Genkai Sea. Pretty dramatic looking.
And you can get close. Didn't it mention a special boat?
Yes. The Ikamaru sightseeing boat, shaped like a squid, of course, takes you right up to the caves on about a 30-minute cruise.
A squid boat to see sea caves. Perfect.
There's also another boat, the Jura, which looks like a whale and has an underwater viewing window to see marine life. Sounds like good family activity.
Definitely. What else is there?
Karatsu Castle. It's also called Maizuru Castle, meaning crane castle. It sits on a hill overlooking a really nice white sand beach. The original castle was from 1602, though the main keep you see now was rebuilt in 1966.
What can you do there?
There's a museum inside about the castle's history and local artifacts, and the view from the top floor is supposed to be amazing. Karatsu Bay, the Nijino Matsubara pine groves. It's also a famous spot for cherry blossoms. Oh, and nearby is the Hikiyama Exhibition Hall, where you can see the huge elaborate floats from the Karatsu Kunchi Festival.
Wow, lots packed in there. History, views, festival culture. Okay, one more.
The Nagoya Castle ruins. This one's historically very significant. It was Toyotomi Hideyoshi's massive base camp built in 1592 for his invasions of Korea.
Right, a major historical site.
Huge site. You can still see the stone walls, earthworks, and the layouts where over 130 different feudal lords had their residences. Gives you a real sense of scale.
Is there context provided?
Yeah, there's the Saga Prefectural Nagoya Castle Museum right there. It explains the whole period, the invasion history, and it even has archives about Korean envoys from later periods, touching on cultural exchange.
Yeah.
It's only about a 20-minute drive from Yobuko, so it adds this whole other layer of history.
Okay. And we absolutely have to mention the Yobuko morning market again.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Can't miss that. One of Japan's top 3, right on the coast road. 40 or 50 stalls, super lively, fresh seafood, local products. It's really the beating heart of Yobuko's food scene.
So pulling all this together, it's really clear from this deep dive that Yobuko Squid's fame isn't just hype. It's this amazing blend, isn't it? The perfect geography, generations of human skill, this incredible dedication to freshness, all leading to that unique ikizukuri.
Absolutely. And it's not just that one preparation. It's the different types of squid through the seasons, the various ways to enjoy them, and how deeply it's all connected to the town's identity. It makes Yobuko a really special destination.
It really makes you appreciate how specific local factors and traditions can elevate a common food like squid into something truly world-class. It's the whole system around it.
It is. And maybe it leaves you with something to think about. How does knowing the story behind your food, where it came from, the people involved, the culture around it, how does that actually change how you experience it, how you taste it?
Hmm. That's a great thought to end on. Does understanding the why change the what's? Something to ponder next time you try a famous local specialty?